trying to make like an aesthetically pleasing like intro, like on purpose, like trying to be relatable, but like forcing like relatability, like starting the video. And no, they be doing dramatic shit like this. They be like, I don't know if I want to do it like this. This is clearly a. What are you guys saying? This is clearly a Android camera. Well, phone. It's so funny because these walls are so thin. But it's okay. I don't think it's that deep. So, I just think it's going to be funny to see the quality difference between this video and like my other ones because I'm using another phone. Long story short, I feel like I can't enunciate right now. This lighting is weird too because it's like literally like kitchen lighting. Anyway. Long story short, I'm gonna edit this. I had to re-record this, but I had my phone stolen in a McDonald's. My phone was stolen in a McDonald's. And I was gonna do that at the time. I didn't have access to my like Gmail and different stuff, but I regained access to like my Instagram first. And then I think over the course of a couple weeks since then, oh yeah, how I got this other phone. I should probably make it a story time, but I kind of want to wait till, you know, I'm not in such a up and down situation. Because my situation right now is kind of like all over the place, I'm not going to lie. I don't think that many people really know or care, but if you do, they know. But, yeah, I was blessed with this phone that I have, but I'm just gonna probably save it for another time. But anyway, I just wanted to update that. What else has been happening? Actually, a lot has happened since like my last video. Like a lot that I kind of really do want to talk about for my channel. But I kind of want to wait until I'm like really not in the same, you know, type of like. I don't know. I want it to feel like when I talk about things, I want it to feel like that ish happened like years ago, so I could just kind of be able to talk about it in one go without any like excessive emotional like input or like also just like. If I'm like really talking about an experience or story time, I try to keep it like that to where I could talk about it and it actually happened like not that long ago, but not forever ago, to where I can't even recall the memories. But anyway, I thought I would just go ahead and do like some night twists and then do that. Well, I'm not gonna do this like extra cute and like as a style. I'm really doing it to stretch my hair. But just in case I do end up wearing it a little bit out, I'm gonna try to part it, but I'm not parting it like how I would part a doll head. So, or like somebody else. And then plus, I don't have that much hair product. That's just some update for my life right now. I think I'm literally struggling with grief to this day, and like I had someone really close to me pass away like years and years ago, and to the point now where I'm like, it was my parent for sure. So that's like gonna take a while to really get over it. Like I remember one time I was applying for a job, like I think like a TJ Maxx or something, and then the manager was telling me, oh, it took her like 10 years to get over when her mom died. Like literally feels like it happened yesterday to her all the time. And I'm like, when she said that, it was like the year that it happened, really, like within the year that it happened. So I was telling myself, oh my God, why are you telling me that at the beginning of my grieving? But she just wanted to be honest, because grief is not easy. For like some people, it's really like the end of the world. For some people, and other people know how to like distract themselves and work and keep up with, I guess, trivial or more like regular things. And for me, I've just been lately not only struggling with grief, because I don't want to just put all my, what's it called, personal bad choices versus like really fucked up circumstances versus like what's really like, you know, just kind of meh. Or what was I saying? I don't want it to seem like I'm blaming everything on grief, but at the same time, I am experiencing like the processing of like emotions and feelings, and I'm getting triggered by things. Like stuff is making sense to me in different ways than it used to, and like in a different ways. Like for example, I could see beyond the veil. Sometimes if like there's something happening and I'm like, oh, something like this happened before, but like before I didn't put it the way that I'm currently doing. So that's like vague, but that's one thing. But yeah, see, these are like about to be just somebody do. I also wanted to include right here that I am not used to much like oral communication for that long at a time. And it's always been easier for me to communicate better, I would say, written, but I do need to practice like speaking more a little bit. I'm just doing it just to stretch my hair. Sometimes I do stuff just to stretch my hair, like even if it's for a style, or like just to have it kind of like that under the scarf, because I just take care of my hair like that all the time. And then either that, or if I do something more defined or like a real style, I take my time and try to obviously have it presentable. But most of the time, it's just literally just to protect my hair, or like just have back anyway. And growing up, I mean, no, I was tenderheaded like as a baby, like actually very. I think there was a story one time I curled under a table as like a toddler or something, and I had like a little patch of hair, and it got caught under the table, and then like I was crawling and not paying attention, and it ripped my hair out. Apparently, my mom says that, and wow, that's so funny because um, that also taught me about natural hair and like different types of stuff, because a lot of people just feel like natural hair is just like it's just 4C, or like type 4 hair is all the same, and they confuse the types and all this. So obviously I don't get too much into that, but um I learned that my hair was actually fine despite being like coarse or like thicker hair, because your hair, I guess, what is it, integrity or like thickness, has to do with your follicle, I think. So like I used to think my hair was thick because I had a lot of follicles. So like curly hair is gonna look thick when it fills out, and it's like all the follicles are full of curly hair. So you're gonna think your hair is thick because it's just so much curls sitting on top of each other. It's like big, but like your hair thickness is actually literally like if this was a strand of hair, like this tail, how thick it is really like it depends on how your hair grows out of your skin. So mine is apparently fine because that happened as a child. And then on top of that, I'm just super tenderheaded. Like I don't know. First of all, if I wet my hair and I put it between my fingers, it's not very, very thick. And I think that's how you could tell, like, or if you rip a strand off and then, like, that sounds so violent, but you kind of roll it, you can tell if it's medium fine or like thick. And I felt thick hair before, like the strand versus like fine. So like my hair type is 4, like the curl pattern is like 4 or 3C, depending on if it's wet or dry, or like how I style it for real, or the products I use for real. So I don't know, but I know my hair type is like 4, but I learned like the thickness through that story she told, and then also just taking care of my hair, like growing up and stuff. I'm trying to think what else to update. But yeah, when I do my hair, like for stuff like nighttime, or like if I'm leaving it under a scarf for a day or two, or a couple days, and then I kind of take it out and then style it like that, just so it's like uniform and stretched, because my hair will shrink though. Like, it did not play. My mom used to have my hair stretched all the time, and I used to think that my hair was like the waves, like we take it out of the braids, if it's like in a really nice little braid. Like if I take my hair out of these little twists in like about 10 minutes, my hair's gonna be like this, instead of like whatever state you have it in. It's like water, I guess. It just takes the shape, whatever the F you're doing. But wow, I haven't had like intimacy like in so long, that's like, you know, trusted for real. I just like did like that, and the deodorant smell just reminded me of like hugging like someone. I'm like, that was so sad and specific. I was like, whoa. Anyway, that just threw me off. Anyway, I'm so mad. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yes, I don't really try to do my hair all that fancy, like, especially if it's wintertime, because most of the time people are wearing like hats and stuff. And then, unless, like I said, just like, honestly, I could get by with like scarves and like stuff like that, because maybe not try to wear my bonnet so much, but like definitely like scarf buns or like scarves. Yeah, see how my part. But yeah, this lighting is so weird, because it's literally like fucking microwave lighting. I don't know where I was before, kind of being like in this situation. Um, it was pretty much the same, but I would say I'm safer now than I felt. Like last time I uploaded a video, let's just say I'm surprised. Like I even had like time to make videos and stuff like that. Like around that time, I've been trying to rethink like what, you know, family and like life and love means to me. Like I really, really want to watch Lilo and Stitch, because like that movie has such a cute little message in it. Like watching it as a kid and watching stuff like that when you get older, like the fact that the girls had like a caseworker and like I don't know, when I was a kid I was watching it, like I thought that was their mom, Lilo's mom, and then I thought, like, I don't know what I thought, and then I think I did understand that like Nani was like her older sister. But it's just a principle to me. Like I just would watch stuff like that as a kid and kind of just I wasn't watching it for the plot or the message. Where I was watching like what's going on the screen and like really like the main like theme I'm getting. But as I got a lot of movies that I watched as a kid, I liked a lot more when I got older. I was like really watching a lot of them lately. Like one of my favorites is definitely like Inside Out. I like the first one better than the second one. I've just been watching like a lot of like childhood stuff, and then like you're just getting like the message a lot different, and then like sometimes the movies just come to me like randomly. I'm like, wow. I would watch stuff like that comes to the top of my head, like The Little Mermaid or Aquila and the Bee, or like what else would I be watching? Like anything like some movie, Matilda, or like the Potter series out of nowhere. So I don't know what else. I kind of had a lot of time to myself while I've been going through this hurdle, and I'm also thinking about how everybody's like blessed. Like I have like really, really up and down days, like emotionally. And before, I was like so like not like that. Like I was more like a cool, calm person, and then if I got upset, it was like 0 to 100. And now I'm like really emotional, and like I'm trying to like protect my feelings a lot, like a lot. And then that comes with a lot of like isolating and stuff, and like trying to protect my feelings, like by not letting anything infiltrate or, you know, even get the chance to mess with me. But then I'm already aware how that's literally running from your feelings and stuff. And like, I know, I just never even thought I had to do that, like run from any, because I thought, oh shit, it's fine, like everything's fine. And I know how to like control myself and stuff if I get in this feeling or this mood. Yeah, for the most part, yeah, but humans as a whole are unpredictable. Like sometimes people have mental breakdowns or snap. So like maybe yours may not look like somebody else's, or yours might come way after somebody else's. Like you just don't know when that might happen for you, which is why I try not to like really like laugh at other people's pain, or like, you know, I try not to kick people when they're down. Now I like jokes sometimes, and I like, you know, things to be kind of like lighthearted for the most part, but I feel like stuff like what I'm going through right now in life, kind of up and down, and honestly like homelessness, just learning and unlearning a lot, and then like making like a way for myself and like stuff for myself in ways that I just was not used to doing. I have to accept that I can make my own like decisions and like do stuff. And I'm like running into like all these things and people and obstacles. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be judging no book by its cover, because my cover right now in life is not even half of what I want it to be like on paper. It's just not the cutest life or vibe. But like me, I'm blessed and I'm grateful for the things I have. Like I feel like, first of all, I'm an attractive woman in the world, and that's a privilege in itself, because a lot of people don't feel that way about themselves when they're in a tough spot like this. Like, I've been blessed in so many different ways sometimes, or here and there, and then like some days I felt great and some days I felt like not like at all. And it's easier to feel good when you have like things you need and stuff, and people are supportive, and etc. etc. Or like even if people aren't supportive, or like, or they just have their own shit going on, like you just kind of have to do that for yourself. Even if it's just being nice to yourself when nobody else is, or you feel like nobody else is, or like you feel like people are just on you for nothing, or like just kind of like breaking the ice and stuff. sometimes feelings aren't facts. That goes for anybody. Like if you feel like somebody deserves something, or you feel like this, that with her, you feel like it's just feelings, like, and that's what I really pride about my channel, is like, it's like my freedom of expression, like my opinion is just that. It's not important or above nobody else's. I never said I know more than nobody or feel better than nobody. I never mentioned that or felt that way. I never mentioned that I know everything. I never said, you know what I'm saying? I just like that I get to have that for myself, because it was hard to kind of have that growing up a lot. Like my voice and stuff. And that was like crazy to experience. A lot of what I've experienced lately, like recently. I don't know if I should tell the story a little bit. Maybe I want to keep this video kind of not that long, but not short AF. Because it's really just like me chatting. I'm going to try to chop it up though, so it's not like pauses like 10, 15 seconds. But yeah, I've been more gentle on my hair. I just trimmed it. I was a little scissor happy. Like, I did trim like a lot of it off. But I always trim my hair kind of heavily, like it's a little blunt sometimes. But by the time it's growing out and stuff, I don't notice anything blunt. Like if I straighten my hair, sometimes it's all pretty much the same. I just gotta trim it and fix like little stuff. But I'm kind of like, I'm pretty lenient with my stuff. I like to keep it more natural nowadays because, I don't know, I'm really tempted to use heat ever so slightly. Like, I'm really quick to kind of like sew off my heat tools if I feel like I'm about to damage my hair or like do something with it. Sometimes I can just see like what I want to do, or I can feel what I want to do sometimes. So I just kind of like, for example, when my mom first passed away, I wasn't buying so much alcohol, but I would drink it like it's water. Like, it was nothing. Like, and then I'm really like fine, but I was never operating vehicles and shit, like ever on that. But also, what else? I don't really do much or go anywhere when I drink like that. I just kind of sit around and kind of like get happy or something. Unless, you know, some bullshit is happening. Anyway. Oh yeah. So for example, yeah, if I do that, if I have money and like, I feel like doing that because I'm not like really like an alcoholic or anything. Like, I could easily say that because that's just not in my nature. Like, you know, I don't always reach for that, or like, I don't act stupid and stuff on that. Like, basically, that is not my vice per se. However, I could really treat it like it's nothing, but I know how to control myself too. So now, for example, if I have like money, I try to like, sometimes if I know, I'm about to go buy alcohol like more times than I would want to in like, let's say a 30-day span, I don't, because I feel like, you know, alcohol kind of runs in my family, and I didn't like seeing what it was doing to people like at the rapid rate. Now, smoking has also been in my family for a long, long, long time, and I'm not proud of that either, but I don't smoke cigarettes and nothing. I like to smoke when I smoke. Like I like to smoke like weed. I like genuinely like it too. So that's the problem. And I have like a low key a dependence on it. Like if I feel like life is getting too hard or heavy, that's always kind of been my, since I was like 20, that's always been my little cushion, like, to be honest. Like, it will keep you going, and it's not so, or debilitating, here we go, like alcohol. Yeah, I'll do something like that, or if I have, like, a choice between, like, an orange and a fucking Kit Kat, and I've been having Kit Kats, like, a lot lately, I'll get the fucking orange that day. Or, you know what I'm saying? I just do shit like that for myself. Like, I have, like, a point where I'm like, because a lot of people can't even do that for themselves. Like, if they like something, they are out with it. Like, it's not, like, 80%. It's 129% that, like, they would, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, I'm not judging nobody's struggles or nothing. If I got something, whether it's, like, food or exercise or water, even stuff that you're supposed to have, sometimes that could fuck you up too, like, for real, if you're doing it too much. But anything can be that, like that, like, even working, I think, sometimes. I kind of used to do a lot. Well, I kind of still do this, and I think it's, like, actually really bad, but, like, sometimes I kind of, like, drink my water or my drinks too fast. And then I'll be having to pee, like, 100 times a day. And then that's no fun because I'm just doing that because I'm getting anxious and, like, everything is tightening and crisping, and I'm like, and that's another thing I really just, like, don't talk to people about. Another thing is, like, I have the worst case of my throat swelling if I'm, like, anxious. If I'm anxious, it's a wrap. I feel like I literally can't breathe. Like, and I think people think that's a joke. Like, if someone says, oh, they have, like, anxiety attacks, or like, what's worse, panic attacks, where they feel like they can't control it. Because people can be having anxiety attacks all the time. You wouldn't even know because they're so, like, hiding it. So, because people got to keep their jobs and, you know, be okay. So, anyway, it's barely funny until, like, way after whatever made something like that not funny. But yeah. Yeah, I think, oh, okay. Yeah, I think people think, like, people are being dramatic when they say stuff like that, though. Like, oh, my throat swells, or, like, it tightens. And then, like, when they're, like, or they learn that that happens if someone's nervous or something. And, like, what happens, sorry. What happens is when somebody's diagnosed with, like, generalized anxiety, their body's basically constantly in fight or flight. Literally. So, like, for example, that's pretty much what it is in a nutshell. That's why people, if they're anxious, they either look jittery or, like, they're avoidant AF. Which is why a lot of times people that have anxiety are distinguished as rude. By the way, length check. Anyway, it's either jittery-ish or, like, giving, like, avoidant or standoffish. And, or, like, it's giving, like, ADD. Like, anyway. Yeah, I have, like, a bad case of, like, if I'm around, like, a lot of people, or, like, a lot of people in a tight space. Because, like, I don't mind stuff like the beach or, like, the movies sometimes. It depends on, like, what's distracting the audience and everybody, or, like, what people are really going to be paying attention to. Like, a mall or a food court is, like, to me, not the worst. because people are just trying to eat. But in the mall type area, people are looking around at people, right? Because it's a mall. Like, you're looking at stuff, and then you're seeing people walk by the door of what you're looking at, and you're seeing people. So that, and then you kind of want to look nice when you go to places like the mall versus like the grocery store, because I don't know why it's normalized to kind of, you don't have to do shit that you don't want to, but it's just like, it's like a thing to kind of like look nice if you're doing certain things, like blah 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 blah. So like societal like bull, really. Anyway, you turn 25 and then society is like your biggest op. Like, that's just like that word in your vocabulary. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, when I'm around a lot of people like that, like in tight spaces, or like, God, elevators be challenging. And like, if I'm in tight spaces like restaurants that are packed, or like stuff like that, or like busy cities and stuff, or like, no, museums are fine. But just basically places and things where it's like, stop. Like, I would love me a beach or something where we could all kind of have our space. But anyway. Anyway. I'll be just really so anxious, like my throat like tightens like a lot. Like a lot. I can feel it happen when I'm getting anxiety, like it's building up and stuff. There's so many like emotions I've been going through lately, like a lot, good and bad, and random, and sometimes some things that come to mind, or like come to my dreams, or like I don't know, a lot of it is really giving, the plot thickens, like it's like big chapter dividers and stuff that feels like some of these dreams are like, it's like a recap, or like it's giving like the why you feel this way and shit. Like some therapist just dove into my subconscious and was like, "Oh, shorty." It's like, they were like, "Duh." It's like, they were like, your inner child is pissed. Like, she's like pissed off. Like, when I say my inner child has gotten like the chance to just be pissed off, like, and not feel like, oh, that's wrong to feel like that, or that makes you ungrateful if you feel like that, because nothing else gets highlighted. To some people, they just love to see you mad or love to see you sad, but when you're happy and everything's great, that's not as highlighted. Or like, you can tell what certain people and things like to highlight about you. Like, they're only around when you're doing real bad. They don't want to pop up when you're doing okay or feeling better. They kind of, like, some people have their little ways or like ideas about you and stuff that you can't change, no matter if you're doing everything right or everything wrong. And then like, there's some people that just have it out to get you for real, and then you don't know why sometimes or what. And then sometimes it's really like, no, there's new things and new experiences. Like, wait, it's just like, to like forget or stop like recycling like old experiences. Like, if you know somebody's gonna move, pretty much as toxic as another person, and you just like, oh, I know how to deal with this type of energy. Like, I just don't want it to be that person. Or like, I just don't want it to be somebody that already did this and that to me. So I kind of just want to try and see if this similar thing won't be that. Or like, etc., etc. Life is crazy. Anyway. You grow up in a hurry, your mind will be worried. Oh, it was all part of the story. Even the scary nights. Thank you to all the glory. Violent crimes. Like the song and the lyrics and everything. When did our society get so, like, why is everything so sexualized? Unless it's always been like that. Or unless that's like an American thing. I noticed like America's so like raunchy and open about sex a lot. Like it's the culture part of, I mean, in comparison to like everywhere else, ain't nothing wrong with it. Cause everybody. I'm not gonna say life wasn't always like that, like sexual or anything. That's how like everybody's here. It's just like, I just, you know, I prefer to feel like there's more to life than those lower regions of chakras. Like, and then I think, a lot of things have been kind of hitting me like a bus. Like my feelings, like I'll kind of like process something that happened either recently or like, you know, it has to be recent if I'm kind of crying about it or something. But I'll be processing random stuff sometimes. And like it's not so random if it's like all coming together, but it just be like, dang, I'm really feeling the feelings, and it'll be so easy to cry if I like, you know, had a shot or something. And I'm not big on drinking, but boy, I kind of been picking it up here and there a little bit, girl. I can't, like, I can only do so much with, like, the weight of living. I'm like, dang, I'm not a party going person now, or like, bottoms up every day and night. I know that would kill a liver, but like, I'm just saying. I kind of like, sometimes I'll do my hair, and then sometimes I'll like let it dry, and then I'll like low-key re-braid or retwist it, and then like maybe rebrush the top, flatten it, so that it's stretched out, but it's still like divine. And then honestly, sometimes just stretching your hair is actually good, even if it's, what's it called, manipulating the curls. Because I think it helps distribute the oils better. And then on top of that, like I think like by that happening, you can retain your length better. You know, you don't have to have extensions and stuff to grow. It's just protective stuff. And that's why a lot of those protective styles don't end up being so protective, because a lot of that synthetic hair low-key be cutting up the bottom of people's hair if they just trimmed like before some braids. If you don't do that because you know better and you're black and you know that blunt ends with braids aren't good, then you also know that it's actually better to protect your hair from honestly most or half of the protective styles, because that hair don't be that good for black people sometimes. But that's a good story. Trust me, I haven't done it all. I'm like, I used to notice like different things. And different like symptoms from using hairs like that. it's just like sitting on your neck and like it's itchy and it's like plastics that's slowly seeping. You know what I'm saying? It's like what type of ish. But I love me a Kanekalon. I love me a nice little braid. Like I used to wear this one braid to work all the time. And it looked like my real hair because I blended it in a way. And so and it was long. I might be able to find a picture now. But yeah, I might find a picture of that. And then when people used to walk by, is that your real hair? I used to go, should I say yes? And see what the fuck they say. Sometimes I would be like, no, I wish. And they would, really? No. And sometimes I go, yeah, just to see what they would say. And they would be like, how did you do that? And I'm just like, I kind of like that I got an intermission on my YouTube channel though, low-key. Because even though I had like, I always really feel like I have something to talk about. Or I could come up with something to talk about. Or at least like react to. Or like blah, 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 blah. I try not to just be talking about anything. Like I try to talk about stuff that's either relatable or I really have something to say about it. Like, because sometimes it's easier to say something than do it. Or sometimes people will listen to you if you don't listen to you, or they don't listen to themselves, they'll just listen to you say something because you're saying it. So it's like, okay. And then it's just like that for some reason. Like there's some things I've seen online where it's like I've said this to myself like so many times, or like I've been through this, and somebody else just kind of like goes through it or does something or says something, and it just like really sets in or clicks, and I'm just like, dang. I don't know, like sometimes it just happens. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my YouTube channel really not very niche. Like I'm trying to keep it like on some like it's 70% authentic. Like I know most people want their channel to be like realistic, like those get ready with me's and like morning routines and stuff. They're like supposed to be realistic, and they be ending up being pretty much more produced than everything that they've ever made. And it's like, so these types of like videos I've been making on my channel are probably how I want to just keep my channel, like even if I get like rich and famous one day, I'm like, the way I would low-key still be using my iPhone as a camera though, or like I just always did that, or always did this, but maybe like eventually like cameras and stuff would get involved. I just don't want to make shit awkward and start feeling like TV, because I'm kind of in like the Gen Z, like iCarly era. Like we saw like the web star thing. All right, we caught it, but it's like, you know, sometimes people be starting YouTube and they be one way, and then you see them after like 5 years, and they're just like kind of bougie after a couple years, like as if they've never been regular. It'd be like they just start drinking like big expensive box shaped water bottles, and they only buy cases of 8 and 10 Icelandic ass shit with fucking intricate ass designs, and they get 3 cases of that for $24.99 each, and it's in their halls, and then their 4th Tesla this month, and like I'll be like, whoa, who's funding this? Who? Especially your fancy YouTuber water. They don't be touching no Pier Park no more. They don't with Arrowhead. They don't fuck with fucking, what is it? Acacia. Fuck. They don't fuck with Crystal Geyser. The Sonnies. Aquafina. Aquafina. Aquafina's gone. That brings me laugh. Dang. It's like, I've been trying to like, or not trying to, I've just been naturally like processing stuff way, way, way after like, so, I've been trying to work on, you know, communication and stuff. And like, I'm not understanding how sometimes I get misunderstood. But sometimes I guess I place words weirdly. Or like, somebody else is misunderstood because they're not saying what they mean for real. They're speaking like it's some weird like code all the time, and they think you on some weird-ish, or vice versa. Or like, it's a lot that comes with communication nowadays, like comprehension, and then not even like, oh, somebody's slow because they don't understand what I'm saying or how I'm saying it, or vice versa. It's people come from like different worlds and like different like people speak like a lot of different languages and not just idioma. I'm talking about like body language. People like speak like different languages, like they come from different areas, they do different things differently, and it's not to say everything's supposed to be like offensive. And I noticed a lot of like people from like areas that I kind of grew up in are really cautious and really paranoid individuals because there's a lot that they didn't get to have growing up, or like a lot that they get to have now a little bit, and so that's like not something to play with them. Like, it's like a lot of stuff is really real for people like this, really hard. Like hard stuff is really happening to people, and they take it really personally and really, really real and serious because life is really like how they've known it, and then like it's kind of like difficult to adjust sometimes to different like ways of life, or people overnight or like really fast. Like that's that thing I've been noticing. Like I'm kind of adjusting, trying to like different ways of like doing stuff, or like seeing stuff, or like if I'm feeling some type of way, I try to like separate the feelings or like the reasoning behind stuff, like not just, oh, everything is this one thing, or this one direction. Okay, I feel this way because of X, Y, and Z from year 3, and then I feel this way about this because of this, that, and that. Not, oh my god, this is making me feel like this, or like this person did this. It's like, oh, this situation is really reminding me of like another situation that was like unprocessed AF. And that's so unfortunate sometimes for people that be looking like people from like my past unwillingly or like unbeknownst, and or like it's hard for me to sometimes look at like family members just a little bit. It's not that deep, but it is if they look like someone that passed away, or like it's like a lot of stuff like that, or like like just now, like when I was talking about the smell hug thing, or like just anything like that triggers you, or like put you back in like a flashback, like a war zone. That's it, the thing. And I've been getting so many flashbacks. Like I had this one flashback where my mom hurt herself so bad in the kitchen one day. She was like, I don't know, the floor was wet and like she split or something, and like she fell and she really did not get up for like a long time or something. I just remember that day because I think she was always so invincible. Like she didn't really show like she was in pain a lot. And so when she did, I was really like concerned because she was like one of those people that's like, oh, please, a scratch. Or like people that are kind of like selective, or like they don't talk much and they experience like pain and stuff. Like real like mute people. Or like real people that are like selectively mute and stuff. Like not just like, oh, they struggle with anxiety. I'm talking about like diagnosed, or like it's like a habitual thing. So like, yeah, people like that when they experience pain and stuff, you kind of have to guess sometimes. It's like a lot of people don't want to make shit other people's problems. No. But yeah, she really didn't get up after that. And for like at least, I don't know, it was like a long time. I think she had to like call somebody to be home or something. And I think what really hurt her was just like, God, just I guess that fall like hurt something beyond her legs, because she had like a C-section and stuff. Good thing I didn't put that much in my hair, like at all, because this side doesn't have that much. So. And then another thing, I don't really normally like, I don't hear an accent. I don't. Because like by the time somebody mentions it, I start to talk more straight, like start to try to sound more standard. Because I don't know. I don't mind fucking accents. I like accents. Like as a kid, I liked them. But it's just like people always tell me, well, not always. Actually, it is a few people that be telling me sometimes, I sound like I have an accent. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I think it could change sometimes. I think sometimes I sound like this, and then sometimes when talking to people, I sound kind of normal. Like, I don't know. Nobody really ever gets a specific, but I do be telling them my family like has like Caribbean roots and stuff. So that's about it. We're here. Hold on. Try to. If I had locks, I'm sure I would like them, right? And then I would change my mind. I would be deep with the jokes, and then I would be like, I want to straighten my hair, and then everything's chopped. I'm gonna have probably like bomb locks, and then I ain't shaved my hair in 3.5 years or some wild number. I don't remember since I was 12. And that's gonna be the day I want to straighten my hair. I'm already it. Oh, my face is so crazy. I didn't do very neat or extra, but my point was just to get some product in my hair. Actually, sometimes I like when I have like less product in my hair, because then I can really see where it's at and not, well, what I want it to be. But this is more frizzy than my liking, but it's more moisturized than it was. And then on top of that, I don't like it to be too heavy anyway, because I like the product, especially when it's getting warmer, because it just starts feeling like, nah. I have like only a couple of relationships prior to my mom dying that I would ever pick up again or anytime soon. And I'm calling it grief brain, because grief brain is really just sensitive to a lot right now. And I don't want, to be overwhelming myself or overwhelmed with my issues and my worries and stresses on top of like other people, and I know other people feel probably the same way. Like, that's fine. It's really rare to find people like, I used to be the type of person that was like an emotional rock for people, and recently I haven't been able to do that like I would like, and like how I am at the core. I've always been like that, like for people. Like, I've always been the dependable one and like the nice one and the understanding one and the patient one and like the here, you can have my last. Then I'm so glad I was always one like that, because then when I'm it's sack. Yeah, I'm done. Come back next week. It's like next week I might be doing my toes.